Welcome to the world of Greenlaning, where the adventure awaits at the beginning of every single lane and the fun starts the second you kick the bike or the second you press this little button if you're lucky like me. So join me while I dive into this lovely countryside and we run through the main reasons that you should go and get yourself a bike, make time for yourself and join this wonderful hobby that is Greenlaning. Just a word of warning, if you are going to do this hobby, come prepared. I forgot my gloves. So about 2 years ago, I was flicking through Facebook, looking for a new bike because I wanted to move away from motocross and find a new hobby that was still fun on a bike, but didn't take up as much time as motocross does. And the thing is, I could sit there all day watching biking videos on YouTube, but it's just not the same as actually getting out there and riding. Which kind of brings me on to my first point, to be honest, which is digital detox. And we live in a digital world nowadays where we're constantly on our phone. And I'm not judging because when I get home from work, all I want to do is sit on the sofa and doom scroll through TikTok. And the thing with Greenlaning is, A, it's illegal to drive or ride whilst using the mobile phone. But the other thing is, it's pretty much impossible to do any of these lanes with the phone up against your ear. So I'm just going to stop because I've got a couple of facts around mobile phones and the digital world that we live in. The average person gets 63 notifications on their phone a day, and one of the biggest things for people to go on their phone is boredom. Can't get bored on a bike. But 74% of phone users aged 18 to 34 get an urge to go on their smartphone when they're bored. I know this is a bit controversial because I'm looking at my phone, but it's for the video. But the average smartphone user checks their phone every 12 minutes, which, to be honest, I think mine's probably less than that. But that's why I go on bikes. A full reset. And this last fact, I'm going to say why I'm actually riding, because I want to get off the phone. So this last fact is quite a big one for me, right? Because I have always had trouble sleeping. So when you're winding down towards the end of the night, your brain will produce a chemical called melatonin, right? Which basically sends you to sleep. It's the part of your brain that makes you tired. But the white blue lights that you get on your mobile phone basically counter that and stop you going to sleep. Which is why at night I try and put my phone down, or I put it onto a night mode where it's just black and white. So essentially what I'm trying to say is Greenlaning is a very good way to kind of focus on one thing, put the technology down, move away from mobile phones, video games, and actually do something good for your brain and your mental health.
This next section is brought to you by the Magic Tyre.
It's a great stress relief. Now, back to the bike. Obviously saying earlier about a digital world we live in, we also live in a very stressful world at the moment, especially with our poxy government. But other than that, work, life, money, the cost of living crisis, we live in a stressful world. And coming to the countryside is proven to de-stress your brain. The fact that you're out in the fresh air, the greenery, and also it's communication. You come across so many nice people that are out walking. Yeah, you get the people that also don't like us, but most of the time it's a nice conversation to be had with these other people around, like-minded people. Obviously you've got the physical aspect of it, which is actually one of my points further on in the video, but it's also escaping the routine of everyday life. It's very easy to get stuck plodding along.
Oh my god, it's the Magic Tyre.
Doing the same thing, but your brain does need a full reset sometimes. And to get out doing this, where, like I've said, focusing on one thing, it's at the moment, try not to fall off, but focusing your mind and getting it out of thinking the same thoughts every single day is such a massive benefit to you. We shall go this way. I really wish I brought my gloves. I said this last time, but it is beautiful along here. So just one more point on this, and it's the sense of adventure. Something different happens every single time you're out, whether there's a log that's falling over that you've got to get across or navigate your way around. But it's that sense of accomplishment, which also moves straight on to my next point. Overcoming challenges and developing your skills. Still did it. Well, these are just getting weirder. But the first part to this segment is your navigational skills. Before you come out and do a bit of greenlaning, there's a bit of planning that goes into it before, unless you've obviously been and you're going around doing the same lanes you've done in the past. But to widen your knowledge on the roads and the road systems, the different apps that you can get, and even if you're doing it by map, it's a way of learning a new skill. And on top of that, you've got mechanical knowledge. Whee, we nearly went straight head on. Sorry, mate. Cool, that was a big old bike to be coming down there. Fair play to him. Yeah, your mechanical knowledge. You never know what can happen when you're out and about, like I've just witnessed nearly going head on to somebody else. But your chain snaps, for whatever reason your bike breaks down, it's always good to have a toolkit in your backpack. And think on your feet, get the mind working, figure out how these bikes are taken apart and put back together, hopefully fixing the issue and you're not pushing it all the way back. But just another thing that you're putting your mind to that's only going to be beneficial for you. Right, let's go slow. This lady, she's going to make me go through the puddle. Hello. Cool, grumpy bitch. So obviously you're watching this video because you like a bit of greenlaning or you like dirt bikes in general. But if you like other things as well, like bike meets, motovlogs, and just general YouTube videos about motorbikes in the UK, then do me a favour, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, because that's what I do. I make videos about bikes, motorbikes, the thing that I love. And if you do, thank you. The first part to this segment was overcoming challenges, and I think by doing this you build resilience within yourself. So say you're coming up to a lane that you've always wanted to go up, but it's a big old step section, they're slippery. The way that you build resilience is you try, and if you make it up, brilliant. But if you're not making it up and you're giving it 2, 3, 4 more goes to try and get up these hills, that's how you build resilience, which then will then come into real life. If you've got issues at work or you've got issues at home, whatever the problems are, you've built your brain to be resilient, and your body. And we're at the end of the lane. I think that's the footpath. National Cycle Works. Yeah, I'm not going to go down there. Let's turn around. Cool, I had to duck there. So with resilience, I would say that it's building up your mental fitness, which then moves on to my next point. It's great physical fitness. Yes, I'm power walking. Oh, I'm such an idiot. But physical fitness, the first part of this, I would say what I'm doing now, your balance. You don't quite realise riding these bikes, you do have to have good balance, because say you're going along one tight, long, single track rut, okay, you've got to have that balance to keep in there, otherwise you're cross-rutted and coming off the side. But to have that balance, I think core strength comes into it as well, standing up, leaning back. Yes, your arms are holding on, but your core strength is what's keeping you centred on this bike. I just said about your arms. I would say upper body, your arms, your back, your forearms, all holding onto these bikes. If you've got a big, I don't know, 450 4-stroke bike that's got loads of torque, when you're going up these hills, you have to have the physical fitness in your upper body to hold on and keep going. Thank you. You can't see it right now, but I'm standing up. Doesn't look like it on the GoPro probably, but I'm going up a bit of an incline, so your leg strength has to be up there. Not just like running leg strength, but actual strength to hold yourself tight. Grips on the back of the seat. I'm a bit scared to go too fast around these with all the bikes that are out today. So what I'm trying to say is, who needs a gym? Gyms are brilliant, but come out on the bike. or use the gym as a tool to get fit to come out and do this. But please make sure you're stretching. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you will know, but if you don't, I've had a hip replacement probably about 7 years ago now, so stretching is a massive one for me. Last thing I want to do is come off the bike, be crumpled over doing the splits or something stupid and my hip get popped out. So yeah, if you are going to use this as a way to keep fit, make sure you're going home and doing your stretching. So my last point on physical fitness is obviously cardio. Who likes running? Who likes cycling? Actually, I quite like cycling, but you don't realise if you haven't been out doing dirt biking or even road biking, there's a lot of cardio fitness that comes into this. You're standing up, you're sitting down, you're standing up, you're sitting down, getting off the bike, looking at your phone to see what you should be talking about. I know that's just me, but yeah, there's a lot of cardio fitness that comes into this as a sport and as a hobby. So just before this video kind of comes to an end, my last point, there is a downside to greenlaning. You're not going to have any money left at the end of it because you're going to want a newer bike every time, you're going to want new kit, actually some gloves that you can wear. What a dick. But I hope this has been fun. Thank you for joining me. If you want to learn a little bit more about greenlaning, then I've got a mini series on it, Greenlaning 101. Here's the video, check it out. Take it easy guys, and I'll see you next week.